Namaste students, this is Jayeshwar Singh Jala. Today we'll discuss the poem The Nightingale and the Glowworm. The poet is William Cooper. The poem is a fable. As you remember, fable is a story with animals as characters which has a moral or message. So a fable has three characteristics. Firstly, it is a story. It can be in form of prose or poem as this one. Okay, that is first characteristic. It is a story. Second, it has animals, birds or insects as characters. And third, it should have a moral. Examples are from Sanskrit literature, Panchatantra stories, Hitopadesh stories, and from Prakrit literature, Jatak tales, and from the Western world, Aesop's fables. Though in Aesop's fables, many stories are taken from Jataka tales and from Panchatantra. Now let us read our story, which is a poem in a story or story in a poem. Stanza 1. A nightingale that all day long hath cheered the village with his song, nor yet at eve his note suspended, nor yet when eventide was ended. There was a nightingale who used to sing melodiously day and night. He would cheer the village by his sweet song. So, this is the explanation. Let us have a look at some of the words there. First line, a nightingale, it's a bird which is called bulbul in Indic languages, that all day long hath means had, cheered, e is dropped here, cheered the village with his song. Nor yet at eve, eve means evening, his note suspended, his notes means his singing, musical notes. Suspended means stopped. Nor yet when eventide was ended, even after the evening even after the evening ended, it did not stop. So for the whole night and day it sang. Stanza 2. Began to feel, as well he might, the keen demands of appetite, when looking eagerly around, he spied far off upon the ground. Now once he felt very hungry, began to feel, as well he might, definitely, as he was singing for a long time, so he felt hungry. The keen demands, keen means too much, very much, demands of appetite means hunger. When looking eagerly around, then he started searching for food. Then he spied means he noticed something far off, at some distance, upon the ground, on ground he noticed something. So the explanation in sentences: once he felt very hungry and started to look around in search of food. When he was eagerly looking around, he noticed something shining on the ground in the dark night. Shining in the ground in the dark night has been given in the next stanza. Look at stanza 3. A something shining in the dark, and knew the glowworm by his spark. He noticed that was something which was something sparkling in the dark, and then he found out from its spark that it was nothing but a glowworm. So, stooping down from hawthorn top, he thought to put him in his crop. Then he came down from hawthorn. Stoop down means came down from hawthorn top, means hawthorn is type of thorny shrub or a tree. He came down and made his mind to put him means the insect glowworm, in his crop means the bag. Here it means in his throat. So the nightingale could know from the spark of the thing that it was a glowworm. He decided to come down from the tree on which he was sitting and decided to eat up the glowworm. Next stanza. The worm, aware of his intent, harangued him thus right eloquent. Did you admire my lamp? Quoth he, as much as I your minstrel see. The glowworm, because he knew that he was going to be eaten up by the bird. So the worm, aware of his intent means nightingale's intention. The glowworm became aware, means he knew the nightingale's intention, and he criticized him in loud and impressive voice. Harangued means criticized. In loud and impressive voice, he asked the nightingale if he had admired his glow. He told him that the nightingale should appreciate his spark as he admired his song. So this is strange. Next stanza. You would abhor to do me wrong, as much as I to spoil your song, for 'twas the self-same power divine taught you to sing and me to shine. Although the glowworm is much tinier than the nightingale, he talks about himself as equal to the bird. He tells the bird that he would not like to harm him, as he also, it means the glowworm also would not like to spoil his song, the nightingale's song. Now here, children, there is a question. Do you think that nightingale can really spoil the song of the, I'm sorry, the glowworm can really spoil the song of the nightingale? Okay, if not, then why is he saying this? The glowworm says that the same divine power has taught. See, the word divine is given in capital, means it represents God. When you read the word God, G is capital, it means it is for the omnipotent, omnipresent God. Some divine power has taught the nightingale to sing and himself to shine. Same divine power, same God has taught both of them to do different things. Nightingale has been taught to sing beautifully, and the glowworm has been given spark to beautify the night. Stanza 6. That you with music, I with light, might beautify and cheer the night. The songster heard his short oration, and warbling out his approbation. The glowworm tells the nightingale that both can beautify, means make the night beautiful, and cheer the people, cheer the night together. The nightingale with his sweet song, and himself, the glowworm, with his shine, can make the night beautiful and cheerful. Last couplet. Released him. Now see this. Go to the previous stanza. Last two lines. The songster heard his short oration. Songster means singer. Here the nightingale heard his short oration. Now the nightingale listened to this short oration speech and wobbling out his approbation. So wobbling means singing. His agreement means he agreed with the nightingale, agreed with the glowworm. Okay, so what happens next? Released him. Stanza 7. Released him, as my story tells, and found a supper somewhere else. The nightingale got impressed by the short speech of the glowworm, and having appreciated him, flew away in search of food somewhere else. Thus the glowworm saved his own life by using his skill. So there are some questions which might arise in our mind. There are a few questions given in your textbook also. We'll discuss them later. For now, I end the presentation. Thank you, children.